Good morning, friends. We choose the topic, serve the devotees, because this was uttered by a great monk of the Ramakrishna order, Swami Kripamayananda, Babu Ram Maharaj. He was direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna and very intimate attendant of him. His birthday falls in December. According to English calendar, it's 10th December. According to lunar Indian calendar, it is after 2 weeks. Swami Kripamayananda was so much liked by Sri Ramakrishna that whenever he was used to be in Samadhi, he said, only Babu Ram can hold me. He was so pure. Swami Kripamayananda's pre-monastic name was Babu Ram Ghosh, was born in Artpur, and coincidentally, the decision of the young disciples of Sri Ramakrishna to become monk came in the house of Swami Kripamayananda in Artpur, and that was also in December 1886. And it was the 24th day of this month that they resolved to become monks, inspired by the life of Jesus Christ. And Swami Vivekananda, unaware that it was 24th December, the Christmas Eve, was exhorting the life of Jesus, and they were around in a lit fire, and they were talking, and Swamiji was glowed with inspiration, and he says, we resolve today to renounce the home and become monk and form an order of Sri Ramakrishna. That date was decided. So it was also in Swami Kripamayanandaji's pre-monastic house, his paternal home, that it happened. So Kripamayanandaji is associated with love, renunciation, and of course, when these are there, the outcome is service. Serve the devotees. Swami Kripamayananda was born on 10th December 1861. He was 2 years elder to Swami Vivekananda. And he passed away in 1918, 30th July. He was quite sick before that. The president of the order, Swami Brahmananda, was there near him in Balarambo's house. Swami Turiyananda, himself sick and had surgery, he was near him. Swami Saradananda was near him. He was gradually fading, become weak. Swami Kripamayananda had become weak. One doctor was asked, he was actually a saint, Balananda Brahmachari. Swami Kripamayananda had gone to yoga in that year itself. And when medicines were not working, then he knew some divine medicine. So he was called for from his ashram. He was a great monk, Balananda Brahmachari. And he met Swami Kripamayananda. He saw, he's a great saint of great achievement. He saw that, Mahatma. And people asked him, can you prescribe some medicine for him? He said, this monk doesn't have any will to preserve his body. If he could put his mind on the body, he could survive. He asked, can you little put your mind in your body? Swami Kripamayananda said, no, this body is like a rotten squash. It will fall down. I have no wish to preserve it. Balananda Brahmachari says, to such type of person, no medicine can work. He came to Calcutta, he was brought to Calcutta, very sick, and doctors came. Dr. Bipin Ghosh was a very famous doctor at the time. He saw him, said, nothing can be done with medicine. So last time had come. Gradually, becoming very weak, couldn't even speak, was lying down. Finally, towards his end, one day he says, all these brother disciples came. One day he said, can you call Gyan Maharaj, brahmachari Gyan, who used to look after Belur Math after Swami Kripamayananda. Swami Kripamayananda was the manager of Belur Math, who used to take care of devotees and take care of the service of Sri Ramakrishna, of the monks who were staying there. It was a big responsibility of the manager of the Belur Math. And he asked for Swami, for Gyan Maharaj. Gyan Maharaj came and he got him near him. And in a very feeble voice said to the ear of, very close to the ear of Gyan Maharaj, "Can you do one thing?" And Gyan Maharaj says, "Maharaj, please command. What I have to do?" He said, "Serve the devotees at Math." And he said, "Please see that devotees are not slighted in any way." This was his last word. Serve the devotees and they are not slighted in any way. And after that he didn't speak. He lived for 2 or 3 days more. And finally when he died, Raja Maharaj, before he was just unconscious, last moment had come. Raja Maharaj brought the picture of Sri Ramakrishna and showed him. And when the last moment came, he said, "Babu Ramda, do you remember Sri Ramakrishna?" Babu Ram Maharaj opened his eyes, looked at the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, then closed his eyes for the last time. The drops of joy in the form of tears came out from the outer corner of the eyes. And it was over. Then the crying was not in Babu Ram Maharaj. Crying was now in Swami Kripamayananda, the president of the order. Went to his room, put cloth in his mouth and started crying, wailing, because his brother monk had passed away. Babu Ram Maharaj was very special. He served Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna asked his mother, "Can you give me your son to me?" Mother was a great devotee. He was so much devoted to God that when her children went to school, sometimes he used to be so much in the meditation that he used to close the door of the house and sit in meditation from morning to next day morning. And children came from the school, door was closed. Knocked the door, it was not opening. Mother was in deep meditation. They had to go to neighbor's house and stay there overnight. Next day she will open. So much of priority for devotion to God. And children were growing very wonderful well. And this devotee, Swami Sri Ramakrishna says, "Can you give me, if I ask one thing, ask me, can you give me Babu Ram? Someone needs to take my care, this body. Yes, I can give you, but I have 2 conditions. No one gives one's son like that for nothing. So, what are your conditions?" The first condition is, may I never forget God. For his second condition, may I not see any children dying. May I die before my children. May my sons not die before me. Sri Ramakrishna said, both are granted. And Babu Ram started staying with Sri Ramakrishna. We know of a philosopher's stone that when it touches iron it becomes gold. Whether that is there or not, who knows. But there are divine beings, when they touch anyone, that person becomes golden hearted. Sri Ramakrishna touched Babu Ram and Babu Ram became a great saint, a person of God realization. His name was Kripamayananda. Swami Vivekananda must have given this name seeing his quality of love. He was really full of love, exceptionally loving to everyone. Monk loves, monk serves. But Babu Ram Maharaj, Swami Kripamayananda, was exceptionally loving to everyone. And that was his last message, to serve devotees. In the eyes of Swami Kripamayananda, devotees were none other than God. He learned it from Sri Ramakrishna. who said, Bhagavata Bhakta Bhagavan. The scripture, the devotee and the God are same. The same spirit resides in all three. Scriptures speak of God. God is of course God. And devotees, they have God bearing in their heart. Who really is a devotee and what is service? Service is removing others' difficulties and giving them joy. Pleasing them is service. You give joy to other person, that is service. So joy can be given by anything that hinders the flow of joy. It can be a smile, it can be a good speech, good talk, a praise, appreciation, thanks, helping, feeding, having good feeling towards that person, praying for that person. All these come under the quality of service. The traditional way of seva or service, that is, we understand that one has to praise the feet of holy man. That is one kind of service that you feel that by that you purify yourself. We had a very senior monk, and many monks don't allow that type of service. To physical service, they just shun it. But one monk was so kind to give joy to the devotees. He even allowed that. And people used to come sometimes in his room. When he went, you found there were 4 persons praising 4 limbs. But he made clear, you are praising my limbs. It's not for me. It's for your own joy that I am allowing you. I did nothing like that. So that was that great monk. He could even sacrifice that, not taking personal service for the joy of the devotees. Allowing that was his service to the devotees, to allow the devotees to serve him personally, physically. That was his service to the devotees. So service can come in many ways. Service needs sacrifice. Service needs commitment. Service needs hard work. And this all is possible only if we have love for the person. For we serve God. How do we serve God? Our worship is a service to God. Our offering of flowers and fruits is a service to God. But this all will be service if we have lot of love for God in our heart. If we do just mechanically, we do some mantra and then chant and throw flowers, that will neither be a service nor a worship. It becomes service when it is only mixed with lot of love. Without love, there will be no service. It just will be the thing saying from the mouth. It will be like the flattery. If you want to, you can say good words, praising words to others. Oh, you are so nice, you have done well. Without any feeling in your heart, if you say, just to please him, it will be flattery. If you say that with the love in your heart and appreciation, that will be service to the person. And service to devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you do 3 simple things to become spiritual. What are the things? The love for the name of God, service to the devotees, and compassion for all beings. Name Ruchi Vaishnav Seva Jive Doya. Name Ruchi Vaishnav Seva Jive Doya. That he said, and if you could do this, all spirituality will come to you. Guru Nanak said, do 3 things. Naam jap, kirat kar, vanchak. Repeat the name of God. Always remember God. Be with God. Ma manusmara yuddhacha. Fight the battle of this life, of this world. Perform all the duties. But with remembering me. Always remembering me. Remember me and go on performing your duties. Sri Ramakrishna said, Tie the knowledge of Advaita in the corner of a cloth and do whatever you like. Always be aware of the presence of God. Perform your duties. So Guru Nanak also said, remember God, repeat His name, perform your duties. He said the third thing, whatever you gain after performing your duties, share that with others and enjoy yourself. Not yourself alone. Vunjate te tvarham papa e pajanti atma karana. Sri Krishna says, who cook for themselves alone, they do not eat food, they eat sin. That was the thing. But you share with that others, you eat nectar, amrita. That's what this verse means. Sharing your things with others. You are not alone. You are one among many. In fact, the Vedanta Advaita will say, you have become many. The other person is your own self in front of you. He is not separate, he is not other. He is your own self. Swami Akhandananda used to emphasize. Who performed Swami Vivekananda's idea of seva, of service. Becoming a monk, you should devote your life in service and spiritual practice, service and meditation. So he said, whom do we really serve? Others. There is no other, it's all me. That is philosophy behind. But before we realize that, that is the only way to become fulfilled, become happy, become spiritual, whatever we say, to serve others. Every religion says, serve others. Now when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, first love for name, Name Ruchi. Others said, Nam Jap. Guru Nanak said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said earlier, Name Ruchi. How do we take the name of God? With love, with attraction, with joy, you repeat the name of God. But I don't find joy repeating the name of God. What is they saying? Ram, 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 like that. Don't worry. Go on saying Ram, Ram. Then you will find it. Human mind is such. You go on doing that, get associated, be habituated, you will find joy in that. You will find love for God. Just start practice. First gear is always difficult. After a little speed takes, then second gear, third gear, automatic gear will come. You don't have to have a manual stick. Automatic gear change will come, then will you find the love of God coming. Just begin. Nam Jap, Name Ruchi will come. So, those are who are the Vaishnavas, who are the devotees of God. This beautiful song by Narsi Mehta, he said, few qualities of devotees of God. Who can become devotees? Of course, who loves God. Then what are the other qualities that come when one becomes devotee of God? Jo peera parai jaane re. Who can understand the difficulty, suffering of others? Who can feel for others? That is a devotee. And what we do after having feeling? First is feeling. That itself is a great progress in the spiritual life. Great progress to become a better human being. Feel for others. Swami Vivekananda used to say, can you feel for others? Does your sleep does your sleep break away because of feeling for others? Whole world is burning out of misery and you sleep quietly at night? The first condition to become a patriot is having great feeling for others. Then you become a patriot. When you have that feeling, then you will be dragged or attracted for the sacrifice, for the sake of the country, for the sake of the humanity. First the feeling. So feel for others and their suffering. Then do good to others. That song was being said. Vaishnava janato tene kaiye. And then do good to others. But be very careful. This doing good to others, serving others, brings a backlash. What is that? He is there because I give him that. I make him happy. I am so great. Instead of thinking about person, we start thinking about ourselves. I speak so nicely. So he came crying, and when I spoke with him, he went smiling. I am so great. You get pride. That's why the Narsi Mehta said, but you should never be proud of serving others. Par abhimanana manama anere. If the pride comes, you are no more devotee. You are a shopkeeper. You are gone. You have lost the path. You have lost the direction. The devotee will not have pride in his heart. He will be just humble like a blade of grass. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again. Amanina manadena. Trinadapi sunijena tarorapi saisuna. How a devotee should be. He should feel himself humble and lowly like a blade of grass. But he should be so enduring like a tree. You see, big storm coming, he stands. And blade of grass, anybody does anything, walks over that, he doesn't mind. Be humble like a blade of grass and be enduring like a tree. Amanina manadena. Don't seek any honor, any praise, any thanks. Don't seek that. When you seek that, you have become less of a devotee. Devotee will not seek any honor. But what about giving honor? Manadena. Give honor to everyone. Have good, sweet words for everyone. Have praise for everyone. Appreciate any small thing that other persons do. How will this come? I will be so humble and it should be so appreciative for the good of others, seeing all good points in others. Often we do just reverse. We always seek our honor and see the defects in others. They say human beings are like sometimes lawyers, sometimes judges. When they see their own mistakes, they are like judges. When they see others' mistakes, for others' mistakes they are lawyers, and for their own mistake they are judges. They say, no, I have done right. They judge. What I have done is right. For others they become lawyers. So always try to justify that this wasn't right for others' things. But that is not the way. How will that come? Kirtaniya sadahari. Always repeat the name of God. So devotee will be always with God. Always be aware of God. Whether you have the knowledge of Advaita at the corner of your cloth, which always goes with you. People tie key. Generally in village in India, they wear saris, and in one corner they tie the keys of the house, which always remains with them. Like we have wallet in our pocket. They have keys tied in the corner of a cloth. So Sri Ramakrishna says like that, tie the knowledge of Advaita, the oneness of creation, in the corner of a cloth. That means always be aware of that. May that knowledge of Advaita, that God has become all, be always with you. And then do whatever you like. That is a devotee. In the Gita, Sri Krishna says, beautiful qualities of the devotees. Who can become really devotee? Advesta sarva bhutanam. Have no animosity with anyone. Be friendly with all. Advesta sarva bhutanam. You don't have any ill feeling towards anyone. To no one. That is one great quality of the devotee. Maitraha karuna evacha. You have to have friendship, well-feeling, the goodwill towards all, and compassionate. That's what he says. Compassion can come from love only. Nirmamo nirahankara. Don't say I and mine. Don't be proud, as Narasimha said, Sri Krishna says in the Gita. Samadukha sukha kshami. Try to have the equanimity in the situations of the world. And be forgiving. Kshami. Have the quality of kshama. Santushta satatam. Always satisfied. You are always satisfied, not disturbed by anything, any desires that have been controlled. Yogi, always united with that feeling, be aware of God. Yatatma, self-control. Dridha nischaya, having firm resolution that yes, that alone is the path to goodness. Spirituality alone is the real wealth. God alone is the priority. Like that, firm resolve. Mayar pitamano buddhi. That's what Sri Krishna said. That's what the devotee will often say. Who had offered to me, Sri Krishna says, mana and buddhi. Mind and intellect are offered to me. mayarpita manobuddhi yo mad bhakta same priya. That type of devotee is always dear to me. So when you offer your mind with buddhi means what? Wherever you offer your mind is colored with that. You offer your mind in wealth, you'll be always thinking of wealth, how to become rich, how to have fame, how to offer richer comfort, how to live luxuriously, more comfortably, only that thought. You offer your mind in nice clothes, how to have better design and better color and nicer things. Always offer mind to clothes. Offer mind to jewelry. You think your mind will be always colored with that? You'll be always thinking, seeing jewelry everywhere. Person comes, you will not see the person. What type of necklace she is wearing, what type of ring he is wearing, that only be your thought. Because your mind is given to whom? To jewelry. Necklace and earring, all that will be seen. And when one gives his mind to God, he will see only God. God in the shrine, God in the heart of the person. Everywhere God will be being seen. That's God. Offer your mind and intellect to God. Your emotion and your reasoning. Yes, that is the reality. That is goodness. And what is God? It's goodness present. It is the divinity that is present. It is the positivity that is present. It is the possibility that is present in the heart of everyone. That is God. Try to feel that. Sri Krishna said that is the thing. Before I say some examples of how Swami Kripamayananda used to serve his devotees. He didn't come from his last words, serve devotees, see that they are always honored. He didn't come as such. His whole life was that. Another quality of devotee, Narada says, is Atma Ramo Bhavati. What the devotee is, he is always happy. Happy within himself, happy with the Atma, happy with the self. He doesn't need anything external to be happy. That is the final solution final characteristic of devotee. Always happy, Atma Ramo Bhavati. Tripto Bhavati, Siddho Bhavati. That is the person. When he becomes real devotee, that is the thing. Swami Vivekananda says, be cheerful. Be cheerful. Cheerfulness is godliness. That is a sign of spirituality, that is a sign of becoming a devotee. All long-faced, weary, troubled, that is not a sign of devotee. You have to be happy, cheerful, because you are satisfied within yourself. You don't need anything external that you have to... Why man becomes unhappy? Because he wants something external, either that doesn't come, or he wants to hold something external that is removed. Two things that make person unhappy. I want that, I do not get that. I want to hold to this, it goes away. One who doesn't care for anything external, who is happy within himself, will not he or she be always cheerful? That is the sign of a devotee. He is or she is always cheerful. Sri Ramakrishna said, to become a devotee, one has to chant the name of God, sing His glory, and discriminate between real and unreal. What is permanent, what goes away. Why we want to cling to the things? Because we don't know the nature of the things of the world. They are with us for some time, after some time they go away. Nothing ever remains with us. And in wrong, erroneous way, we think that thing will remain always with us, and when it goes, then we feel sad. Because we didn't discriminate between real and unreal. Everything that we hold and act here is unreal. That's why the prayer, take us from unreal to the real. Make us aware that this ever-changing world that we see is ever-changing. It is not the real thing. And the reality is the divinity that is present. Nityo anityanam, chetanas chetananam. There is one real among all unreal. Anitya among the anitya, there is a nitya. There is God that is present everywhere. Try to feel and seek that God present in this unreal world. That's why I always discriminate. What I am holding to be dear, will it always be with me? Won't be, because it's unreal, it will go away. For the time being it is there, other time it will slip away. So, by discrimination you will be strong. And that discrimination, chant the name of God, sing His glory. That's what one becomes bhakta. Swami Premanandaji's love for the devotees was so great. Whenever someone came to Belur Math, he was manager of the Belur Math. Belur Math was not very affluent at that time. There was financial problems. Things were very meager, very less. But he never, that became a problem to serve the devotees in Swami Premanandaji's life. One day, a group of devotees came. It was already, everyone had finished meal. Coming to Belur Math is far away from Calcutta. It takes time. Nowadays also when people come, we close generally gate at 12, people come late and they have to wait. So it takes time to come to Belur Math. Now it is, there are the cars and buses are there, but road is very bad, it takes a lot of time. That time people had to walk all the way or come across the boat, across the Ganga by boat. So they came little late and there were some children with them. Swami Premananda somehow made food for arrangement, but what about the children? How to be infant was there, it needed milk. So no milk was there, there were no pouches that time that you keep in the fridge was not there that time. The milk had to be procured and there was no milk in Belur Math. And you won't get milk in odd times. Babu Ram Maharaj remembered, yes, there is some milk kept for the service of Sri Ramakrishna. He asked Brahmachari, can you bring that milk that was kept for Sri Ramakrishna to feed this boy? Brahmachari was just outrageous. He became very angry. Why? This is for the offering of God. And this feeding to the devotees? How does he know? Bhagavad Bhakta Bhagavan, he has read in the gospel, but he has not made practical in life like Swami Premananda. He was really furious, but Premanandaji was the manager of the month. Without, even out of his annoyance, he brought that, was given to this boy, this small kid. The milk was fed. He saw no difference between God and the devotees. That was Swami Premananda. Once, few devotees came from East Bengal. They had come to Dakshineshwar, crossed the boat. It was quite late in the afternoon. They were 10 or 12 in numbers. All food was finished. Now what to do? When anybody came to Belur Math, it was his rule that they have to be taken care of, they should be fed. There were two purposes. One was, devotee is God in the form of devotee. Another is, whenever prasad is given to the person, that prasad will have definitely good effect in his mind. That strong determination and faith was there in Swami Premananda's mind. Whenever prasad is taken, he will become a better person. So for these two reasons, he never missed serving the devotee. Then what to do? So he said, bring some flattened rice, some coconut, some jaggery, and that was fed. So they were trying to go outside to hotel. They said, no hotel going, you have to eat this. But with all this, it was not delicacy, it was not cooked food, but there was so much of love in this Swami that used to touch the heart of the person. They ate it and they went away. Next day they came again to Belur Math with lot of nice things, rice, lentils and all these vegetables, all bag full of things they brought for the service of God and the devotees. Another time, a well-to-do family came. They had bathed in the Ganga and they wanted to ask Swami, where is the hotel we want to go and eat something. He said, Swami, you don't have to eat. Come here, sit. And then they were fed with just simple one vegetable, one lentil soup and rice. And after eating that, they were so pleased. They said, we never had tasted such a tasty and delicious food. They were so pleased with that. So always it was that way. We also feel if we eat with the devotion and with it is served with love, that is there. Why people feel so happy when they have prasad? The same food we eat at home. perhaps better cooked. But why we feel so nice when we eat here? Because one is the feeling that it is prasad, another there is love and blessing of God, another is the human factor. One who serves, that person gives with so much of love and feeling, with a smile in his face or her face. This all mixed together with the food, the blessing of God and good treatment of the volunteers, real feeling in the heart of serving the bhakta, that all makes food so tasty. That becomes the real service. Once Nag Mahashaya's wife visited Belur Math a little late with the devotees, and food was not there. So what to do? Baburam Maharaj was informed, and Baburam Maharaj made some arrangement for the food. He said, you have to arrange them. And then the Nag Mahasaya was a great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. The Brahmachari, the Gyan Maharaj who was there, he said, they are coming so late. And the person who was called by Swami Brahmananda and said, take care of the devotees. He was the assistant to Swami Kripamayananda, and he followed many rules. There is rule at one place and feeling at another place. That has to be combined. Not that everything need to be done with the rules. Swami Ranganathanandaji, when he was head of Hyderabad Center, somebody came to buy books. And the Brahmachari who used to look after the bookstore, he said, it's already late, it's the time to close, it's 10 to 4 like that something. It was off the time, so we cannot do. So he just was going. Ranganathanandaji, senior monk of the order, head of the center, so famous all over the world, he said, oh, Brahmachari, give me the key, I will open this door and give the book to the person. He didn't ask Brahmachari, I say to you, I am head of the center. No. Go to take rest. I will bear the burden of that. I will subtract that from my time to take rest. Open the door, sort the book and give to him. So that was Nag Mahashaya's wife. When Swami Kripamayananda heard, no, you cannot refuse, there is nothing time. They have come late, so many problems on the way. How can you feel for others? That's why feeling about others. And she was fed and she blessed. When people used to go to Belur at that time, we had a garden. And that garden was enough to produce vegetables. And when someone went away from the ashram, sometimes they used to give some vegetables, some like the green or something, whatever was there. Take this as the prasad to your home, cook that and eat that yourself. It will bring you good. So one devotee had come from Mihijam in Bihar, and it's a little far away, about 400 kilometers from Calcutta. And when they were going, they gave one plant to be eaten as curry, as vegetable. So then Yam was there, and Mihijam, and said, Maharaj, we went there, Swami treated us very nicely, and he again, while we were coming, he gave this green vegetable to cook. So when he saw it was a plant, nata, and like the stem is cooked. And Yam said, don't cook it at once. Cook it piece by piece every day. And when you eat it, don't think it's a vegetable. Think from where it has come. It was grown in Belur Math, where Swami Vivekananda nurtured and founded, where Sri Ramakrishna is worshipped, where the ideas of Sri Ramakrishna are associated with that. Think that way. Associate your mind not with only food. Think of the ideal that Sri Ramakrishna stood for love, sacrifice, renunciation, purity. That all, when you eat this small piece of vegetable, think of those things about the Belur Math, about Sri Ramakrishna, about Swami Vivekananda, and then you will spiritualize yourself more vigorously. That's what Yam advised. Jagadish Chandra Bose was a great scientist of our time, that time. He was a very well-renowned scientist who worked for wireless, and was not recognized to have invented wireless along with Marconi, but now people say he actually had found that. Though not recognized, but he did that. He was the one with Marconi, he had invented wireless. So when he used to come to Belur Math, he was treated very well, and he used to remark that, I have travelled all over the world, but I have not come across any other place where you find only Ashun Boshun Khan. Man, come, sit down, eat. That's so much of treatment with love. I have never found. He was a very famous scientist. He traveled all over the world that time. But here you find the real love. Please come, please eat something. That was Swami Premananda's spirit and Premananda's word that time. And he used to say, whoever takes Thakur's prasad must derive some benefit from it. It was not easy, having so much of love and serving so much. It was not all praise as we are doing now. There was criticism for him, doing untimely, feeding so much, doing this, taking the thing from offering, all that. There was a lot of criticism. But he endured that. He endured that. Love can do everything. That was Swami Premananda, incarnation of love, as they say, love incarnate. And from his life we learn how can one love all, how one can serve all. That was his last saying, serve devotees. And try to, who is a devotee? Who is a man of God, who is with God in him. How do we know whether he loves God or not when you meet a person? We don't need to know. We can think every person as a devotee of God, and we can serve that person according to our capacity, according to the need that person has. So we can remember, serve the devotees.